Shalom, warrior. Lord Christ. Hey, your mute, your phone, your mic's still muted.
Yo, was just working there.
Hey, Most High Christ. Let's get the intro popping.
On this day in Louisville, Kentucky, these 8 men went to camp to speak the words of the Most High Power. And as they had done countless times before, but on this day, they were attacked by a vile mob of heathens and sinful men who sought to take their lives and stop them from raising up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel.
That's right.
However, in accordance to their training and the love that they had for one to another, they fought their attackers side by side.
That's right.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
On to death if necessary.
That's right.
And at the end of the conflict, they prevailed and returned to their homes and to their brethren and their wives and their children. All was lost except one thing they brought back. They brought back the Bible.
That's right.
And delivered it back to this nation.
Shalom, Israel. You know what it is. This is Kentucky 8 Podcast. Shalom, Israel. You know what time it is. We at the end of this kingdom. We at the end of these days. Only a little bit of time left in this empire. Let's get to stories. Police, Minnesota. Minnesota officer meant to draw a taser, not handgun. The police chief in Minneapolis suburb, where a black man was fatally shot during a traffic stop, says he believes the officer who fired intended to use a taser, not a handgun. The police officer who fatally shot a black man intended to fire a taser, the police said. Brooklyn Police Chief Tent Gannon described the shooting death of 20-year-old Dante Wright as an accidental discharge. It happened as police were trying to arrest Wright on an outstanding warrant. The shooting sparked protests and unrest in the metropolitan area already on edge because of the trial of the first of 4 police officers charged in George Floyd's death. I'll tase you, taser, taser, taser. The officer is heard shouting on her body cam footage released at a news conference. She draws her weapon after the man breaks free from the police outside his car and gets behind the wheel. After firing a single shot from her handgun, the car speeds away and the officer is heard saying, "Holy expletive, I shot him." The governor instituted another dusk till dawn curfew, but hundreds of people gathered outside the Brooklyn Police Center station Monday night. Separated from dozens of officers by a chain link fence, well past the 7 p.m. deadline, a drum beat incessantly and the crowd broke into frequent chants of Dante Wright. Some shouted obscenities at officers. The crowds remained even after police ordered them to disperse. Officers fired what appeared to be small containers of gas. At least one protester could be heard dissipating the smoke with a leaf blower. Law enforcement agencies stepped up their presence across the Minneapolis area. Number of Minneapolis National Guard troops was expected to more than double to over 1,000 by Monday night. He called the shooting, Brooklyn Center mayor called the shooting a deeply tragic and said the officers should be fired. We cannot afford to make mistakes that lead to the loss of life of other people, he said. We're going to do everything we can to ensure that justice is done and our communities are made whole. Elliott later announced the city council voted to give his office command authority over the police department. This will streamline things and establish a chain of command and leadership, he wrote on Twitter, which should have freaking already been there. He also said the city manager had been fired and the deputy city manager would take over his duties. The reason behind the firing was not immediately clear, but the city manager has control of the police department according to the city's charter. Now, former city manager Kurt Boganayev, speaking early Monday to reporters, said the officer who shot Wright would get due process after the shooting. All employees working for the city of Brooklyn Center are entitled to due process with respect to discipline, he said. Man. Organizers from the movement for Black Lives and National Coalition of more than 150 Black-led political and advocacy groups pointed to Wright's killing as yet another reason why cities must take up proposals for defunding an irreparably broken racist system. Wright should not have had his life ripped from his life, life ripped from him. Well, it goes on, but for the most part, another so-called tragedy, another so-called mistake by the fine, America's finest, the boys in blue, when boys and girls in blue, they, here they go again with another racist killing of an unarmed, I say it again, an unarmed black man or black person. What do you think of this, Warrior?
This is crazy. Because they expect citizens, right? Citizens who don't have any training. They expect citizens to, obey every command and be super docile and, comply with everything and do everything right. And yet they, can make a mistake like, that would cause someone to lose their life. And it's insane that a cop who was on the force for 26 years doesn't know the difference between a taser and a handgun. Anybody who can't tell the difference between the taser and the handgun should not be patrolling the street, should not be responsible for anything other than themselves, if that, because she's a complete dumbass if she can feel that and can't tell that it's a gun. A gun has a certain weight. A taser has a certain weight. I don't think that she thought it was a mistake. It's almost impossible to not, know when this gun is in your hand. So this devil is insane. That's all I gotta say. That I don't think it was a mistake. I think she deserves to go to prison for life.
And we've been telling Israel that this was going to happen. The Israelite School UPK been telling Israel that these type of things was going to continue to happen. Commander Johanna said it when Trayvon Martin happened, that these type of things was going to continue to happen, that this was not going to be the end. You understand? The more destruction was going to come. The more of these police killings was going to come. And more of our people going to be under the gun by these devils. And nobody listened. Nobody listened to the Israelite School UPK. Nobody listened to Commander Johanna when he said that this was going to continue, that this was going to get worse. Everybody went along with their day. They ain't coming to the truth to help stop it. They just sat back and watched, and now it's happening almost daily. It's almost daily occurrence now. My thing is, when is Israel going to actually do something about it that isn't insanity? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Why are we going through the same thing, reacting the exact same way over and over again? But I guarantee you they expect, this time we're going to get justice. This time we marching for justice this time. When are you going to know? When are you going to sit there and say, well, look, this marching, we didn't get justice. Trayvon Martin, we didn't get justice. We marched. George Floyd, we ain't barely getting justice. We marched. All these brothers and sisters getting killed, we marching and barely getting justice. There's got to be another way, and the other way is the Israelite School of UPK. The other way is getting right with the Most High. That's the other way. That's the alternative that nobody seems to get in there, in them. You know, so till that happens, we're gonna continue to see this. There's gonna be more police bloodshed.
It's crazy, Cap, because
Mhm.
you know when you talk to Christians in the world, their mindset never change. It's always like, yeah, we got to rally, we got to march, we gonna get justice. It's like this is not justice. Them continuing to kill us, that's not justice. You understand? Because they never get what they really deserve, and that's death. You understand? They kill, they take, they destroy us. Like the real justice is like you said, real justice aren't is not gonna come by, you know, some judge. Real justice is not gonna come by, you know, us getting, you know, economic power and getting, you know, equal voting rights in America. That's not justice, not for 400 years of oppression. Real justice is Yahushua coming back with 200 million angels and cutting off their goddamn head. That's real justice. And that's the fate of this world. And the only way that's going to happen if you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans come join the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge and truly learn to serve the Lord.
Damn right, damn right. Let's get to the next story. Oklahoma teacher placed on administrative leave after videos surface video shows her calling black student N-word. A white Oklahoma teacher has been placed on administrative leave after a video recorded during a class showed her calling a black student the N-word. Reports that the incident in question was recorded at Holdenville High School and shows the teacher say the slur during a tense argument with one of her students. Near the start of the clip, the student can be seen pacing while talking to someone on a cell phone about how he plans to walk home. The teacher wasn't happy about it and insisted that she would be keeping him in the classroom. The situation then proceeded to escalate when she tried to physically block him from leaving the room. At one point, he could be heard calling her a bitch, and she proceeds to grab his backpack as he tries to leave. "You better watch where you touch me," the student said before she replied. "You better get yourself over there, nigger. Do it." The whole classroom reacted to the moment with a gasp, and she then attempted to justify the usage of the racial slur. "I asked you what would happen if I said it, right? And so you didn't think it was okay," she said. He appears to grab the glasses from the teacher's face and threw them, which is a lot more polite than what racists actually deserve. The video was shared on Facebook. It says the incident in question happened April 9th. The teacher reportedly did not show up to school on Monday, and she was placed on administrative leave by Tuesday. The school has since said that a full investigation into the incident is underway. Holdenville Public School's main priority is the safety and well-being of our students, she said. The district is fully aware of the incident that occurred, and the staff member in question has been on administrative leave and will be through the duration of the full investigation is complete. Once again, the ISUPK told you. The ISUPK told you that these things were going to happen, and nobody believed us. The ISUPK told you how these oppressors feel and how they think about us. Nobody believed us. What you think about this?
I like this story from this standpoint. I think it's good. I think this is good for our people to see this and see more of it. So much so that it's going to motivate us to now start our own self-imposed segregation, right? Because we did a story came out not too long ago how more and more black people were choosing to go to HBCUs, right? Historically black colleges and universities. And so I think a self-imposed segregation movement is coming just based on not wanting to take your kids and have them be, you know, tortured by some devil in class like that, look down on them, not give them the proper education to begin with, right? And who's going to love your people more than you love your own people? Not another nation, damn sure not these oppressors. So, you know, more and more of this is not only going to happen, but it should be it's a good thing for our people. If we look at it through that lens, it's actually a good thing because we're going to now start to gather ourselves together like the scriptures say, and we won't have to go to any schools where oppressors are present. We'll teach ourselves, we'll love ourselves, we'll, you know, grow and educate ourselves. So I think it's good.
Con. And oh, we got a mighty man in the building. Hey,
Shalom,
Shalom, Lord Christ.
Shalom, Lord Christ.
Hell yeah, looking strong. I see you got already got your Passover drip ready. Yeah,
Just a smidgen. Just a smidgen.
yeah.
Just a smidgen.
Most High in Christ. Well, we just did a story over a teacher that called a student an N-word while they was having an argument, teacher and the student. And I should be been telling you this too. We've been telling you that it's time to separate from these people. That racism has not gone away. You thought racism was gone. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, everybody knew racism was gone. Everybody, all the Christians, they told everybody racism was over. What you y'all talking about? Y'all, that's back in the day. Now everybody is forced to realize that racism is not gone away. And I almost, it's like a bittersweet thing. Now I kind of feel how that one prophet felt when he went to go tell the people, but he didn't want to tell them because he knew the Lord would forgive him. Like, I don't feel like that. I just feel like, man, we was telling you all this time. But now people are starting to try to get on the rhythm, the right mindset, which is of the Lord. The Lord is doing this. But they still haven't came into the truth all the way. I'm waiting for that too. That's coming next. They changed their rhythm, but they ain't came into the truth. What you think about this teacher calling a black student N-word, Mkwawa?
Salaki, like the scripture saying, nothing new under the sun, man. It's been going on since the Martin Luther King dream. We all come together, sing Kumbaya. I mean, we knew this was good. We knew this. I mean, this just goes to show they still have that same agenda that's been set forth. Like, there's no coming together with these people. I mean, I don't know how many times we have to. I don't know how many times they got to call us niggers, this, that, and the other, and all this stuff for us to realize these people will never accept us. We can't try to walk the same way they do and expect for them to love us, or try to be model citizens and expect for them to love us. It's just not going to happen. And I'm not surprised by this because it's been, I didn't heard plenty of stories where little black kids and Hispanics and Native Indians been called certain names according to their teachers and all this stuff. This is stuff this happens on a daily basis of any schools. Some of it goes unnoticed. This right here just happened to get called out and all that stuff, but there's nothing new under the sun. And the sooner we realize that we cannot come together with these devils, the better off we'll be. But if we gonna continue on the same route, then this is gonna be a common trend. This been happening for about 50 years, since whenever I forget the name of her, the little black girl that went to the all white school. I forget the name of her, but when she started integrating to the schools, I mean, it's been happening since that and the MLK dream and all that stuff going on. So I mean, I'm not shocked by it. But social media is such a trend now where you can catch a teacher saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna record it," and now you can catch it easier. But back in the day, let's think about how our parents and grandparents went through this and didn't say nothing, just went home and said, "The hell with it. They don't like me. I'm gonna just deal with it." So I mean, this ain't nothing new. I'm not shocked, but hey, sooner or later, people going to realize what the hell going on.
Right. Look back at Little Rock 9 and all that. When they was trying to get into school and all them oppressors was cussing and yelling at them, calling them, telling them, "Go home, niggers. We don't want your kind here." We steady walked in that school. Don't turn around now and have a complaint with it now. You wanted to oppressive school. You wanted to be up in there. You walked through the fire. You put your children, like, I don't give a damn how great of a education that would have been. I would not have my child. You talking about a child. These was kids. Like, that little, I remember pictures, it was like a 9-year-old girl or something walking through a crowd. And they had the army out there had to protect her because they was going to kill that little girl. Why would you send your child into that type of environment? To do what? To get bullied, to get spit on, to get gums put on their books, to get pushed, get shoved in lockers. Like, what you trying to prove? You sacrificing your kids for some type of bullshit dream. Don't try to stop sacrificing them now. That kid get called a nigger. Don't try to be coming after the teacher now. They was doing that when we first walked in the door. 50 years or 60 years ago when you wanted to get into white school so bad. And it's such BS that we had to try to go in their schools. We was going fine over 100 years going to all black schools. Think about when the integration started. Okay, before 1960, Dr. Martin Luther King was already a fucking doctor. And that's before integration. So why the fuck do we need to integrate? We already had doctors before then. We had colleges before then. We had engineers. We had black doctors, black scientists. What's that brother name with the peanuts who had great inventions, man? One of the father of agricultural scientists.
George Washington Carver.
George Washington Carver. I know he studied a little bit in a white school in Iowa, just a little bit. But for the most part, he was black educated. He taught in a black college. And we did that for over 100 years. Why all of a sudden did we have to go and integrate? Why all of a sudden, after 100 years of having our own schools, we had doctors, engineers, scientists. My father and my mother went to a segregated school. And my dad was a damn engineer. So what was the great push? What was the great reason to have to go into the white schools? You can't say because to get a good education. We was already getting good educations. Black schools was excelling back in the day. The only reason you wanted to get in those white schools so bad was for your love of the oppressor. Because you love that white skin so much that you're willing to put your children in harm's way so they can be near it. So they can be part of it. Go ahead.
So like if I may say, what you was bringing was heavy because our people have this agenda. Just because they have white skin, they think that they are the superior race. When our people don't realize that we are the dopest entities to ever walk this earth. We, like the scripture say, we are the salt of this earth. We taught all these nations how to wash themselves. We created all these inventions. We just don't get credit for them. I'm guaranteed the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, I guarantee a TV stand, a TV. I mean, I guarantee some way it was a black inventor behind that, but we just never got the credit for it. But our
the light bulb.
It's like the light bulb. I mean, we made so many things, but our people got this agenda in their head where we think it's okay. You know what? They're white, they're superior, and that's all for like programming that these oppressors do. Because every commercial you see, it's of a white family of this, that, and the other, and they so-called perfect. But then you got the black family, got the crackhead, the brother, the dad that's in jail. I mean, it's all through. That's why I say it's television. It's programmed in our minds since we were a child that we see this, that we love it. But little do we realize that our family structure is so that our family structure could be so much dope that we don't have to be the drug dealers, the crack addicts, and all that stuff. A lot of people don't realize these oppressors are meth addicts, crack addicts on the low. They just hide it better than our people do because we're not supposed to be on it. But it just goes to show, like, we are the dopest entity ever walk this earth, but we get so caught up in what these oppressors look like and how they this, that, and the other. But when they don't have no swag, when they look at us and see what the hell we gonna do next. Oh man, I see him rocking chains and gold earrings and all that stuff. I'm about to do the same thing. Oh, I see him guys with the nice little waves and all that stuff. I'm about to do the same thing. I mean, these oppressors copying have been copying us for centuries, man. When we gonna realize what the hell they doing? Why do we get so caught up? Like you said, why we gotta go to a white school? We don't need it. I graduated from HBCU. I wasn't caught up in that. I wanted to be with my brothers and sisters because I realized being around these oppressors was not it for me. I said, man, I'm not comfortable. The white women, they were looking at me strange and all this. I wasn't comfortable. I went back to the HBCU. I was comfortable around my people, and I got a quality education and got more connections through that. But a lot of people don't realize that our people, we don't need these big schools and this other stuff to get connections and succeed in this in oppression, man. We really need ourselves. That's why HBCUs and all that was created, to help us get along. But our people still stuck on, we gotta do this, that, and the join along, kumbaya, and this, that, and the other. That's the classic, what it's called Christianity. Loving everybody and not hating them, even though they show time after time they hate us. Sooner or later we're gonna have to get it, because the end of the days are here. And if you don't want to get on this shit right now, then you're gonna get lost in the sauce. That's all.
Damn right. And I'm gonna go real quick. I'm on Pinterest. Black inventors and their inventions. The air conditioner unit, the auto fishing device, the auto gear shift, bicycle frame, cellular car phone, the clothes dryer, the doorknob, the elevator, the fire extinguisher, gas mask, guitar, hairbrush, lawnmower, ironing board, the lock, lubricating cup, mailbox, a mop, motor, peanut butter, record player, refrigerator, spark plugs, straightening comb, street sweeper, stove, telephone, thermostat control, traffic light, tricycle, TV remote, typewriter, and the VCR remote timer. And that's just a few. Just a quick small list. But we needed to go to the white schools to get a real education. Look at all those, but we need to get yelled and called nigger and life and death situations so we can get a real education. Martin Luther King told us so. He had a dream. Remember? He had a dream that we was gonna be white boys and white girls. Forget all them blackity black inventions, all that blackity black talk. You don't need none of that. We need to be together. Well, you got it. You got it. See, you got black kids being called nigger. Don't make a news story about it now. What you making a news story about it now? They was doing that when we walked in the door in the 60s. But now it's a news story. So this is what we got to deal with this Christianity. Hey, big confusing circle. Give it some more time. They're gonna be saying we need to separate and make our own schools. And then give it 5 more minutes, then they're gonna say we need to come back together. We need unity. They don't know what the hell they talking about. They don't know what the hell they doing. They just need to shut up and let the Israelites and the Israelite school UPK drop knowledge and everybody listen to us. Because them fools, like I said, you see what we was doing. You see what we was doing before integration. Where's the inventions after integration? Look like we went into the white schools and got dumb. Shit, we done got dumber. So let's go to the next story. Let's pick up the last story. There have been at least 45 mass shootings reported in the U.S. in the past month. Looks like a good little video too.
What does the president?
Hold on, let's go. Let's let this ad go by.
Change his approach so that this administration can pass these changes when in the past it failed?
Well, first, the president shares that sentiment, as I think many Americans do, that when we saw 20 children murdered, when we saw 6 adults murdered, that would turn the tide of Congress. We have seen data and statistics still across the country still broadly support background checks. I think it's about 80% of the American public support background checks, including a good percentage of gun owners support background checks. We've seen states take action since that time. A number of states across the country have put in place a number of laws. Sometimes states are the leaders, as we know, and we've seen in other areas of policymaking. But I think the president, who has been in public life and public office for 50 years, more than 50 years, would be the first to tell you if he were standing here that just because you don't get the policy making, the legislation done the first time, it doesn't mean you quit trying. And certainly tragedies like we saw earlier this week, like we saw last week, mass shootings that are killing innocent lives, leaving family members without their loved ones, is a reminder of how important and vital that is. He has talked about, as he did yesterday, the importance of working with Congress. I know the vice president touched on the fact that if we want something to be permanent, if we want it to be lasting, we need it to be legislation. He certainly believes that. But there are also executive actions under consideration that we will continue working through internally. And there's lots of levers you can take, obviously, as president and vice president.
So that has to do with all the 45 mass shootings that have happened this week. All right. What do you brothers think about all these mass shootings, man?
these the Democratic Party, they're pushing the whole gun reform and trying to get people not to have access to weapons. This is what they fail to realize. It doesn't matter if you stop guns, right? Because criminals and murderers and the oppressor is going to find ways to get guns. They're going to, make guns. I saw a YouTube video where some cat had a pipe, and out of this pipe, he somehow fashioned a gun. They're going to get guns. It don't matter. They can try to stop guns if they want to, but they're going to get guns and they're going to kill and murder because that's their nature.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, McQuarrie.
Figure out what from the puzzle I said. I mean, they just say that just to say that, but at the end of it all, like he said, people gonna get guns regardless. I mean, as long as guns have been made, and I don't even know how many guns, probably 1 million guns to be made. They are flooding the streets, some clean, some dirty. You're not going to be able to take guns off the streets out of people that don't deserve them. People always gonna get guns. I mean, there's no change in that. That's just a part of just saying we're trying to do something. But how many presidents have said something about gun control, this, that, and other? You're not going to control these, especially these oppressors. They're like the Wild Wild West to them. They get gun happy. You disagree. You don't like. They don't like something that you say. You disagree with them. They're going to go get their gun and shoot up the whole party. They don't care. So you're not going to be able to control these oppressors and what they're doing. And it's just a common thing that they always say. Like, this comes out every year, gun control. So it's like, how do you make gun control? Do you stop making guns? Do you go on a raid and take every gun off the street? I mean, what do? You can't do nothing because there's too many guns on the street. At this point in time, you just got to roll with the punches because this is what this oppression has built up. This is what the great America has built up, a nation that has mass shootings every other day and they can't control it. But they always talk about some gun control. Every president always says, I got a policy in place for gun control, just for the people that's scared of guns. And then what happens? They get in office and nothing ever changes according to that gun control. They just say that just to appease to the people, but they know that they can't do nothing about these guns. They just say the hell with it. I mean, that's every president has done that. Say the hell with it. The government has been saying the hell with it. Look, mass shootings, oh well, okay. Lord be with you. I pray, we're gonna pray, we're gonna get a memorial, and that's gonna be it. And I mean, there's nothing they're gonna do about this. This is just something that comes out every year. Something's gonna change, but nothing changes.
All right, let me get a scripture, Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. There's only a little bit of time left in this empire. These devils know it. And they feel it in their spirit. You understand? They feel suicidal. That's what the scripture is talking about. They suicidal. Things ain't going bad, ain't going well for them. Shoot up the place. And like the brother said, presidents and everything. There's another scripture that says when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. They can talk gun control. The more they say gun control, the more people going to buy guns and shoot it up. So, like the brother said, there ain't nothing they can do. The only thing they can do is have a kingdom full of murder, because that's what this kingdom is based off of. It's based off of murder. You love Billy the Kid, right? Wild Wild West, the shoot 'em ups, and Al Capone and John Gotti's and all them. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre. You got movies made after it. Hey, it ain't gonna stop. Don't try to stop it now. Don't try to stop it's the fun. This is what you wanted. This is what all the founding fathers of America, this is what they wanted. So don't cry now. Don't cry now. These shootings, these mass shootings are not gonna stop. Don't think it's some legislation that they're gonna legislate away the murder in the oppressor's heart. The scripture says he was a murderer from the beginning. And the lust of his father he will do. Who's his father? It's talking about black people following white people, but guess what else it's talking about? It's talking about Cain when he murdered his brother. Cain killed Abel. That's who got the same spirit as Cain, as the oppressor. Murder ain't going to stop. These mass shootings aren't going to stop. So what do you do to make sure you're not a part of the next mass shooting? Get right with the Most High now. Get into the ISUBK now. Call the number. Go to the website, isubk.com. Get in the classes. You just had some students come to class today. They know they better continue. Because you never know who's gonna be the next in this crazy kingdom with all the shootings and mass murders and everything like that. The only thing you can trust in is the Most High. Because you can't be prepared everywhere. You can't bring your gun to your job, but they come shoot up your job. What are you gonna do then? Hop out the job? How about the warehouse, run to your car? By the time you do that, you might not even make it. It might have been just shot up by then. So most people think, I just have my gun with me. You can't bring your gun everywhere. You go to court, they shoot up the courthouse. How would you how was your gun gonna help you then? You go to the school, take your kids to school. You can't bring the gun in there, then they shoot up the school. They shooting up the job site. They shooting up every damn place. The answer is not the guns or the controlling the guns. The answer is the Most High. The Most High God to protect us, to keep us protected, keep us safe. Trust in the Lord. See, the people don't trust in the Lord no more. They trust in man. They trust in themselves. They trust in the power of themselves. That's what they trust in. They don't trust in the Most High. Brothers, have any last remarks before we get ready to close it out?
I just want to say, like you said, Cap, it's heavy because the scriptures say the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, right? And that's the mindset. You hit it on the head. The whole mindset is, I'm going to defeat this with something fleshly. No, something worldly. Nah, man, your power is in the supernatural. You understand? Get in the classes, join the ISUBK, start truly serving the Lord, man.
Damn right. McQuarrie, last remark.
Basically picking off what the mighty man before me said. You know what I'm saying? It's a solution out here for our people, man. But you gotta stop being so prideful. You gotta stop being a Christian, a Muslim, a fake Israelite, or whatever else out there. You gotta stop being prideful because you care about your people. You actually got black power and all this stuff. Then join an ISUBK and the Commander General Yahada, man, because the structure is there for Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. A lot of our people think we can just get together, march and protest on any given day, and that's gonna make a change. No, in order to beat this wicked beast, we have to have structure, order in place, so we can do this the right way. So we can build our own government. We can build our own and take back this kingdom, man. Because the kingdom is ours, but we gotta have. In order to do that, we just can't be in disarray. We can't be Christians, Muslims, and all this other stuff thinking that we're gonna be able to come together in the end. No, we have to be together now in this living hell. We come together now in this living hell. Guess what? The end of days come. Yahweh Shah Mashiach come and crack them skies. Guess what? We're gonna already be ready to go. We're gonna be His army, the government. Everything gonna be set in place, and all we're gonna do is wipe out these other nations. Move right on in, get the broom and dustpan, clean it on up, and set up our empire right here, man. But we got to come together now. And if you don't want to do that, then you don't care about your people. I mean, the ISUBK is the solution for Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. And if you don't realize that, then just say you don't care about your people and keep it pushing.
Damn right. What the brother brought us is extremely heavy. This is Kentucky 8 Podcast, Kentucky 8 Radio. We here every Tuesday night, 9 p.m., every Friday night, 9 p.m. Now, next week, it's going to be a toss-up because it's going down. Next week, brother's going to be at the Passover in Houston, Texas, getting ready at the B&H Ranch, Passover, next Friday. So next week, who knows what the show going to be on. We're going to try to keep it pushing, keep it popping. But boys, it's going to be all over the place. Go ahead.
They're going to have to catch us on the live footage. We're going to be getting it in.
Yeah, man. It's Passover time. It's going down. So make sure you're tuning in, being ready. Check out all our other radio shows in the ISUBK. Go to ISUBK.com, Black Watch, Across the Line Radio, One West Radio, Boot Up or Shut Up. All our shows out there. Even Angry Black Man Media with Captain Soccer War, Toxic Masculinity. Check us all out, man. There's tons of great content. Learn the truth. Get right with the Most High. Because with learning these laws, statutes, commandments, this is our chance to defeat wickedness with righteousness. You understand? And that's how we're going to win. All right. This is Kentucky A Radio with the brothers signing off. With that said, shalom.
Shalom.
Play a song.
I bet it's bleak.